Hello and welcome everyone, it's Shanna. Now today I'm going to be working with this Simple Stories Simple Card Kit. It's Pink Lemonade, and I've already made the first 3 cards on another video, but I was cleaning in my craft room yesterday, was trying to clean stuff up, and I came across this again, and I thought let's just blow this up and go ahead and make the rest of the cards. There are 5 more, there are 8 total, and they give you the instructions on exactly how to create them with the elements that are in there. And you get more than enough elements to create these cards. You actually have some leftover pieces. So I have actually pulled them together, and here's the leftover pieces. You get several things, several extra things. You could actually make probably 2 or 3 more cards if you wanted to with the leftovers for that. But I have pulled each one of them together, and I've followed the list according to what you're to assemble it with, and I've got it all ready and prepared. So we're just gonna start preparing the rest of the cards, and I'm gonna get this out of my craft room. So this is the Zest card, and I pulled all of the elements that go in it. And I've got some ideas for stepping up some of them, just adding a little extra interest to them. So we'll just go right down the list and follow the instructions and get these assembled. So basically all you really need is some glue or some tape, double-sided tape, because the kit includes the card bases and then everything that you need. It includes these panels. So this one we're going to use this strawberry panel as our base layer and get it laid down on here. And it just fits perfectly. And then next we're going to add the green and yellow, this green grid with yellow trim on it. And we're just going to take it and we're going to get it. It looks like we're going to lay it. This is going to be a top folding card. And so we're going to lay this across our card base. We're just going to lay it across here like this. And we're, just kind of building our layers with it. Just get it pressed down. And then we've got this red gingham that the instructions say to lay right down here. So I'm just going to put a bead of glue and lay that down. And if you're a beginner card maker, this is a great way to start off card making, because you can kind of learn your layering and your clustering of different items, and it's just a really great way to get started if you want to get into card making and you don't have any supplies or you've never done it before. These kits are great for that. So this is our next layer. And then we're going to add the lemonade cart. Now what I did with this is I put some foam tape on the back of it, just so we could pop it up and add a little bit of dimension. So that's the extra part. Certainly if you don't have foam tape, all you need to do is glue it down. But I thought we'd add a little bit of dimension to these cards and add some foam. So we'll just take it, and then they kind of have this laying on here like this. So we've got our lemonade cart down there, and then we're going to add our strawberries with our blossoms. We've got one that has the little blossom on there, and then one that doesn't have the blossom. And we're just going to get these added to here. And then we'll add this one to here. Just kind of tuck it. And then we're going to add our Zest Wishes, and this is a chipboard piece. It's a good thick piece. We're going to add it as our sentiment to our card. And we're just going to tuck it in. Actually, we're going to put it over our little, and I need a piece of foam for the side of it. So I'll just bring in some foam just to help it to lay flat. And we're going to put it up like this so that it doesn't hang off our card base. And then it also calls for this sentiment here, sending very big hugs. And we're gonna get it laid down here like this. Now, one of the things I'm gonna do is there was an extra lemonade that's slightly bigger, and I'm gonna pop it up and just put it over our lemonade and just add some extra dimension on there. And so we'll kind of add some dimension to our card and step it up a little bit, and I think that looks nice. So we've got that one. Let's move on to the next one. So our next one is Berry Best Wishes, and we've got all the elements for it. And I brought some twine in for this one, and I'm gonna add it for some additional interest on the card, just to add just a little something extra. So this one calls for this panel here. I'm just gonna lay it down on here. I think you can pick these up fairly inexpensive in the Spellbinders shop as well, these kits. I'll link everything in the description box below so that you can check it out and see. You can shop with the links. So then it calls for just a little thin black strip, and we're just going to add a little detail to it. And then, let's see. We're going to take, I was looking at the wrong one. We're going to take this gingham and we're going to add it at the bottom of our panel. And we're just going to have a little green polka dot behind, underneath it. Just kind of lay that down there. Try to get it straight. If you line up the edge, it should be straight. And then next we're going to add this newsprint. And we're just going to layer it on top of this. So the kits kind of get you thinking about adding some things that you might not normally think to add. I know I wouldn't always think to add some of these things. So I think I'm going to go ahead and take my string, and I'm going to add it to the inside. And this is just my little extra addition to the card. And we're just gonna add it to the inside of our card. And we're gonna tie a bow up here. And I thought since we had the lemons and the yellow on there that it would be fun to add just a little string to it and just kind of step up this little card. I'll just trim this down. Give it a good pull so it's nice and tight. There we go. And then we're going to take our Berry Best Wishes and we're going to get it laid down on here. We're just going to kind of position it down here in this area. And we're going to bring in our strawberries. And I think we should pop them up. So we'll grab some of our foam pieces and just pop them up a little bit. And just pull off the little backer pieces. I always just throw the little pieces off to the side. That's kind of how I do it. And then they just kind of have these positioned here. And it'll kind of help hold our string in place as well, because I've got a little foam square that's on there, and it'll help do that. Straighten that up. And then we're just going to tuck some of our our lemons around our little scene. And I think I'm just going to position this one down here. And then I'm going to bring this one in and we'll pop it up. Put that on there. We're going to tuck another one over here. This is a little chipboard piece here. So we'll just tuck that down. And then we have got our little chipboard butterfly. And I think I'll just put some foam on it. And then we'll get it laid down. Like that. And so we've added a little extra element and some dimension to this card as well by just adding the little foam pieces. It really doesn't take that much to add some extra interest to these. And we'll go on to our, oh, we need to put our happy birthday on there. This is actually a happy birthday card. So we're going to get it laid on there. I almost forgot that. The other thing too is we have these extra pieces, and I think I had some extra, I do. I've got some extra lemons, so I thought we could add that to the inside of our card and just have some extra interest on the inside of our card as well. So I'm just going to bring this in and put it on the inside and just use some of those extra pieces up. So there we go. There's that one. Moving on to our next one. Our next one is the bicycle card. It says Shine Bright. And we're going to get to assembling it. And I think some of my pieces fell out, so I'm going to have to pull those in. So again, and I'm just scoring my cards just so they're have a good fold on them. Just using my bone folder. You can just use your finger if you don't have that. If you're just starting out and you don't have that tool, you don't necessarily need it. You can just run your finger across there and score it. And we're going to get this panel laid down there, and they've got a trim around this so it has the appearance of being layered, having additional layers on it. So we've got that, and then we've got this floral piece here that we're going to add to it. I'm trying to get my tweezers so I can grab these things. It's always nice to have them. You can position things better with them. And this one is just going to lay at the bottom of the base of our card, and it's going to be the little landing zone for our bicycle. Now for our Shine Bright, I'm actually going to pop this up because we're going to do some tucking around it, if I can get a hold of it. So we'll add some foam pieces. And I'm going to just kind of be around in the center because I'm going to tuck some things underneath it. So I want to leave some room for tucking. I'm going to have all of these little pieces of release paper laying on the side of my desk when I get done. And I'm going to kind of put it here. And then we are going to tuck our smaller clouds underneath there. And to do that, I'm just going to add some glue. We'll just tuck it in there. We're going to tuck our other cloud on the other side like this. And then our bigger cloud is going to go up here. So we're going to need some foam on the top of it. Pull that off, and we're just going to get it laid down. Get it laid down over here like that. And then our butterfly is going to go on top of our cloud like that. We've got to add our sunshine, and it's a piece of chipboard. And I'm going to put some foam on it since we popped up our Shine Bright. And we're gonna add that there. That looks nice. Get my little glue. There we go. Got a little piece of something right there. Pull that off, okay. And then we have got a little flower. It's gonna go down here. And then we have our Spread Happiness chipboard piece that we're gonna lay down here. There we go. And now we're ready to bring in our bicycle, and we are gonna pop it up. Let's see if I have some foam. Yeah, I've got some foam strips that we can lay here. Just get these added. Whoops. Need to move that over a little bit. And then this is pretty sturdy because it's chipboard, so it's pretty sturdy. And so for this one, what we've done is we've just added dimension with our foam. Really haven't added anything extra. We're gonna get our bike on there. And we've just got a cute little card. Isn't that cute? All right, let's move on to our next one. We've got two more. The last one's a shaker, so hang on for that. This one's fun. This is the little Hey Friend with a little cup. Very fun. So we've got it. And we're gonna get it assembled, and then our last one is our shaker card. So I did pop that up, the friend up. So we've got this panel here, and it looks like it's got multiple layers on it because you've got multiple patterns. So it kind of creates the illusion of layering of the pattern paper. We've got that. And then you have this piece here, the gingham, that is gonna lay on here like this. Super fun. It is just early. I'm still in my pajamas. I haven't even had my coffee yet. I laid this out last night and thought I was gonna work with it. And then got up and I thought, well, I'm just gonna get in there and work with it. So I haven't even had any coffee yet. So if I've got my grovelly morning voice, you'll know that's why. So we're just gonna lay it down on here. And then we have got our little cup. There's some string there. Isn't that cute? It's like a little pink lemonade with ice. And I think we're just gonna lay it flat, and we'll put some other items with some dimension. And it just goes on here like this. And I've still got that string in there. Get that out of there. And then we have a a slice of lemon we're gonna lay over here. And we have got our chipboard. So we've already kind of got dimension with that, so we don't need to do that. I'll lay that up there. And then we've got another slice of lemon, and this is another chipboard. We're gonna lay it. I think it's gonna kind of go, I think I wanna get my friend on there. It's gonna kind of go like that. And then we're gonna bring in our friend. And we've got plenty of foam tape on it. And we're just gonna lay it down on here like this, and we've popped it up. And then we have our hay. I'm gonna need to add some, since I popped my friend up, I'm gonna have to pop this up a little bit. We'll do that. Get some glue on my finger. And we're just going to, got a little piece of chipboard on the side there. I'm just gonna trim that off. We'll put our hay on there, and then we've got You Make Life Sweet. And we'll just glue it down. And it's gonna go right down here. And there we go. So we've got lots of dimension on that as well, with our friend being popped up. And that looks good. Now let's do our last one, and this one's going to be a shaker card. So we'll get it going. And I've taken the window part of this and I've put some acetate behind there, and we're going to make it our shaker element. So you can see that. So we'll just get it, and we're going to get it assembled. Let's make some room here. I'm kind of filling up my space here. Okay, and we've got our pattern paper, and it's like got newsprint on there. It says Clara Barton Seasonal Pink, New Hardy Climbing Ever Blooming Roses. So you can actually read what's on there. We're going to get this laid down on here. This is kind of a busy card. So we got that laid on there. And then we're to bring this, and we're going to lay this on there. Actually, let's start with this, because we're going to layer this up next to the green down here at the bottom. Bring that in, and we'll bring this in, and layer it up next to that. And then our next element we would need to bring in would be our frame. And so this is where we're going to add our gems and just make it a shaker. And I think I brought in my Spellbinders little container here, and I thought we'd just bring in some little bits to add to our card. So I think what I'm going to use is, I'm going to use some of these flat pieces here. Just use some of those up. We'll do that. Let's create a well, and then I'll bring in some of these beads. I always like the sound of the dots. The dots make a fun sound on your shaker. So we'll just bring some of those in. Bring a couple different colors in. And then next what we need to do is close this up so I don't spill all these, and get this out of the way. And then we'll pull off our sheets on this, and then we'll get it laid down on our card. And we've made this a shaker card just by simply adding foam and some acetate behind there. And we got one here. And then we're just going to lay this down like this. And there we go. Give it a good press so that my bits don't fly out or anything. And there we go, we've got that. And so we've added just a fun element to it. So then we're going to add our chipboard camera to it, and it's going to go here. And I'm going to put a little foam tape behind here, since we've got our frame popped up. We'll put some foam on the bottom of this, and it'll just help this to layer, to lay even on there. And we're just going to bring it in and just kind of lay it down on here like this. Get that laid down on there. And then we have our Radiate Joy sentiment that's going to go on there. And I'm just going to get it laid on here. And we have a couple of butterflies that we're going to add to it. Actually, we have 3 butterflies. And we'll get those laid on there. And then this one is landing on our flowers. So we'll get it laid down on there. And then we've got another one that's going to be down here. And then that will finish off our 5 cards. So we got a little shaker. So you can take the kits and just, you know, kind of add to them and make them a little bit more interesting and kind of put your own take on them. So I've got all 5. Now the first 3 I did just exactly like the instructions. And so they're relatively flat, but they still are very cute. But then just took and added some foam tape, shaker, some twine, and added some bits to it and come up with some really fun cards. So I've taken a couple pictures. If you would consider hitting that like, and if you haven't subscribed, I'd love to have you subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.